What's up guys, Josh Toy here, and you know what time of week it is. Friday, so it's custom build day. So let's just get to it, get into the warehouse and pick out the parts. We're in the warehouse, so I'm gonna start it a little different than I normally would. I've been wanting to use a set of metal wheels for a while. Tommy Christiana's wheel, one of my homies. He's got that black on maroon with a little bit of gold, which I thought would tie in pretty nicely with another part that doesn't get used very often in our builds. I'm gonna have to climb a ladder for this one. The North Transit Mayor deck in wine red. Here we go. I think this will be a pretty solid little color scheme since the deck does have gold caps, the inserts. Okay. Now I guess I'll just kind of build off from there. I'll start with the headset. What's up, Walter? Energy drinks, they're bad for you. I'm gonna get into the Aztec headset in raw just to kind of break up the color scheme a little bit. All right, next I guess we'll go with the fork. I thought this fork would go pretty well. This is the Wise Martin Andre fork in black. What I really like about this fork is that it's got these little accents of silver. It'll match really, really well with the headset. Okay, so we got the wheels, so clamp. I love SCS, and one of my favorite looking SCSs at the moment is the Tilt Rigid SCS. That is an attractive SCS. Moving on up, we'll go to the bars. So I think a pretty good color for these bars. Ruben!
Building a custom.
No, you're
Welcome
good.
to my custom build. All right, bye.
So I'm gonna go with Affinity. Love Affinity, all the guys at Affinity.
So you going with XL Classics Matte Black Standard? Because I don't need those.
Nope.
Okay.
Here you go, Ruben. Here they are. XL, oversized, raw, Affinity T-bars. Nice. All right, so basically, we only have the small stuff. So we got grip tape and grips, yeah. So I guess we'll go with the grip tape first. If you guys haven't noticed in a lot of my videos that I've done for custom builds, I've only done a few, but I always use Hella Grip because I ride for Hella Grip. They're all my homies, so I have to support them. Unfortunately, we are pretty low on stock, but I still like the slot dots, just like my custom build. Another thing that's kind of nice about that too is the silver for the headset and the fork kind of match off the white a little bit. It's like a matte finish, so kind of looks good. And now off to the grips. So judging by the fact that I have to use like maroon and dark red parts, I don't have too many options right now in the warehouse. We're out of stock on a lot of the products we usually would have, but a nice long, slightly thicker grip, Addict OG grip in red. I feel like these will match the wheel a little better too. I'm gonna do some metal bar ends too. We have plenty ODI and black or silver. I'm gonna go with black. Even out the color of the grip tape and the parts with some black bar ends. All right, so I think that's it. So I guess we'll get into the studio and start building this thing. So we're back into the studio, and I'm gonna give you a little rundown of what parts I picked out. Starting off with the grip tape, it is the Slot Dot from Hella Grip, Affinity XL T-bars in oversized, raw, North Atlas Mayor deck, Tommy Christiana wheels, Martin Andre Wise fork in black, Aztec headset in raw, the Tilt Rigid SCS in black, Addict OG grips in red, and then to finish it off, I got the black ODI aluminum bar ends. So let's just start getting this thing put together for you guys. Oh, there he goes. And then he flies away every time. So I guess we'll start in with the grip tape first. So I'm just gonna take off the hardware just to make it a little easier to get this thing rolling. Oh, it's a 10 mil. Hold on, is it a 10 mil? Oh, I'm tripping, yeah, I am tripping. It is an 8 mil. Wait a sec. Wow, I done did it. Integrated nuts on the brakes, guys. So I don't need another tool. So that makes it easier for you guys. Wow. So one thing I did not mention when I was in the warehouse, this deck is 5.25 wide by 22 long. I felt it's a pretty good size for pretty much all riders, street or park. And this deck also fits both 30 and 24 millimeter wheels. Onto the grip tape. If you've ever seen my custom builds in the past, I have a very odd way of doing my grip tape. It's definitely different from a lot of the other guys here. It's just the way I do it. I prefer it that way. front done, now let's get into the back. That fly again. Every time I catch notice of him, he's like, he dips right out, right back out of frame again. I get to do the center now. I've actually never cut out a speed hole before, although I have done, if some of you guys are a little older, you may know about this deck, but the TSI flight deck back in the day, they used to have TSI machined into the deck, and it was pretty difficult to cut out. It's very small, made it hard to get the blade in to get a nice clean edge. At least this is a nice larger hole. All right, grip tape job's looking pretty clean now. So we'll start adding the parts. I'll clean that up later, James. Mount the brake for you guys now.
Look at that, you don't even need a socket.
No sockets this time, no sockets. I think it looks pretty clean. And what's cool too is if you guys buy the scooter, or if you buy a deck like this with the speed hole, you could actually decorate the inside with some stickers from like your favorite brands or whatever. So I think that's a cool little feature, just so that you guys can have a little bit of a personal touch on it. So I guess we'll start in on putting the parts together on the front end. If I know my North decks, the bearings are gonna be a bit snug in here because they actually paint inside the cup, so it makes it a little bit harder for the bearings to get in. So you gotta give it a little bit of a tap with the rubber mallet. All right, let me find that for you guys. Oh, there you are. Let's try this again. Yeah, it's pretty snug. All right. So the bottom one should be pretty interesting. Whoa, whoa, okay. There we go. Let's get the front end on. Whoa. It's very snug. And then add on the SCS, just a little Allen key action, just like that. Yeah, it's looking like I might actually have to spread this. Always remember, kids, if you guys are ever spreading your clamp open, you wanna make sure that you loosen up all your other bolts first. Could really mess up your clamp if you don't. Big ups to our filmer, James, hooking me up with the key. Trying to keep it so that you don't get the key in the way of the fork so that it'll still slide on. And or coin or whatever you end up using. Easy. And what else is cool too about Tilt is they pre-grease their bolts, so you don't have to worry about that. I know on one of my last builds, you guys were giving me guff about it in the comments section because we didn't show footage of me adding grease to the bolts, but there was grease on those bolts. I know better than that, come on.
Oh my gosh, the fly is inside that light up there.
Next, let's install the wheels for you guys. Another cool detail about this fork is that it is 12 standard compatible as well. It comes with a conversion kit, which I am going to install in here, obviously, because we're running 8mm. Bigger side with the spacer goes on the inside. And then the smaller washer goes inserted into that. Gotta get the socket now.
You sure?
Yes, I'm absolutely sure this time. I need the socket. No integrated nut on this one, and the fork does not have a race for the nut to sit in either. So you absolutely need a socket on that one. Pop the back one on. Once again, this deck does come with 30 and 24mm spacers for the back end.
But not 12 standard.
But right, that is not 12 standard. It is still an 8mm deck. So the only way you'd be able to run 12 standard with this setup is if you replace the deck. Come on, come on. There we go. What's cool too about this deck is that the dropouts are cut super wide for the wider wheels, and I just dropped the spacer, so that's sick. I was just about to say, it's supposed to make it easier because you don't have to go through the back if you don't want to. All right. Today's been rough. Don't drop it this time, Josh. Let's not drop it. All right, now I won't need a socket wrench for this one because the inserts actually have a seat for it, so it'll hold the nut for you. So now we've got the deck kit all set up. So I guess we should install the grips so that we could put the bars in the clamp. All right, now all we gotta do is install the bar ends, throw them in. It's that simple. Let's pop the bars in, get a full glimpse of this thing. I gotta spread again.
Tomorrow.
Maybe I should add a headset spacer. I'm gonna actually add a headset spacer just to give it a little more clearance. It should be tight without having to worry about the clamp spinning like that.
Tomorrow for sure.
All right. Now that I have the clamp spread, the bar should go in no problem. Like butter. All right, all I gotta do now is just tighten the bolts for the clamp and this thing's done. I think it came out pretty clean. I'm pretty stoked on it. This is something I would ride myself, but I know what you guys are really thinking. You guys are wondering, is it dialed? So let's go find out. As usual, guys, it sounded amazing. That's all we do here at The Vault is make dialed scooters. But what I really wanna know is I wanna know what you guys think as well as my coworkers. So I'm gonna go into the warehouse and find out what they say. What do you think of my build, bro?
Oh, that's actually pretty sick. Good grip tape job. Yellow match the drop-ins, like the thing. That's actually sick. I like the north deck that
The cutout with the wolf.
the wolf in there. You
Yeah.
can see it. Ah, good job. Look at you go. For an old man, you got it.
Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, dude, this is sick. The color scheme is really good. Whoever buys this is definitely gonna be lucky.
Yo, I mean, this is pretty fresh. Maybe not as fresh as these dripping kicks right here, but I dig it. I love the red on this.
I know Ephraim is always trying to stay off camera, so I should just go straight to him. Look at him hiding behind the Ethic Completes. He's probably running down the aisle right now. Yeah, he is. He's running down the aisle. Legit. Oh, look. This is called Ephraim Hunter.
Yeah.
We're observing Ephraim in his natural habitat. You see him? You see the movement? See the movement? He's got camo. You can barely see him. There's my guy. Come on, Ephraim. You're gonna be seen sooner or later. Did he seriously go all the way over there, or is he hiding behind the friggin'... Is he hiding back here?
There he is.
Oh, this guy. Come on, Ephraim. Come on, Ephraim. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, this is ridiculous. Who'd have thought that I would have a hard time finding my GM?
I like it. I think you just do such a good job.
With knocking me in the face. Yeah.
It looks great.
Thank you.
It.
Watch out for the bars.
Right? It's a beefy scooter. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Looks good, man. You're gonna win, bro.
It's not a build-off. We just gotta find Ephraim. Let's get Ephraim in his natural habitat. There he is.
Yes, you found me. The scooter looks sick. What deck is that?
North Atlas, the Mayor deck.
I dig it. The reds are a little different, but I do like it. It's a good build.
Let's get back in the studio, close this out. All right, guys, I wanna know what you guys think, so let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure to follow us on all our social media accounts. All of those are listed below as well. Check out my YouTube channel. I just recently left social media, but I still have my YouTube channel. Go drop a subscribe on that. Check out some of my content if you like fingerboarding and scootering. And until next time, guys, have a great one.